Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you've had a great week. Today, in my 10-minute Mondays, I'm going to discuss creative intuition. This is all part of the parcel after you've learned all of the rules of fine art. So, I want to just have a little chat about the process that is involved with the intuition part because it's the most exciting part. It's the part of the art process that we all love and we all look forward to, and we wish it would happen all the time. So, I teach the rules of fine art. So, there's like a lot that goes into each and every painting. It involves composition, line, shape, color, and value. You learn all those things, and in every single stroke, you have to have those 5 things covered in order to produce a good painting. And I teach my students that all the time. That's how I learned, and I drilled it into my head year after year. I studied and I studied, and finally, it became a natural progression for me. It does for most good artists, and a lot of people have the ability to do that. And then if you are somebody who is like a bookkeeper or have been, in academic realm, scientists, mathematicians, all that side of the world, that revolves around your left brain thinking. So it is harder for those type of people to get into the right brain thinking, and that's where intuition comes from. It comes from the right brain, and it has to be developed in many different ways. You can develop it. And first of all, you've got to put the time in learning how to paint, learning how to mix colors, learning how to hold your brush, learning how to apply paint. Those are all incredibly important part of it, and you can't intuitively do that until you understand your materials and what it is you're trying to do. So it's a step-by-step process, and once you get that all figured out, then the intuition can step in. And I want to think it's kind of like learning how to speak a foreign language, and how when you're learning French or Italian or Spanish, you have to conjugate your verbs and figure out. It's a very slow and painful, methodical process, and then it becomes more natural. And they say that if you immerse yourself in that language, then you will do better. And it will become more natural, become part of who you are. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're having a conversation in French. And that is how painting can be. So can't be rushed. You have to put the time in every day, and it will come. And it's so important to just paint and paint and paint. My mentor Karen taught me originally all of these rules of fine art. And then after 6 months, she said, "Okay, Caprice, now I want you to forget everything I've taught you and just go in and paint. Don't think about the rules. Don't think about the composition. Just let it come out." And I'm like, how are you supposed to do that, right? It seemed impossible. And it took a while, let me tell you, to once you've ingrained yourself with the theory, it's hard to set that aside. And that is what is involved when you start immersing yourself with the intuitive bit. And it doesn't work all the time. With the painting I'm working on right behind me, I started using some of the colors that I mentioned to you last week that were gifted to me. They were old colors, and some of them were a little bizarre and a little bit bright green. And I just sat with my palette and I had some fun and started mixing some of these obscure greens with some different colors. My theory was kicking in, and then as I continued painting, all of a sudden some wild, weird colors showed up on the canvas that I hadn't really thought about, and it was, ooh, I like that. It worked. It just kind of came out. It wasn't planned. It was part of the process. And then yesterday, the exact opposite happened. I backed up from my canvas and I'm like, ooh, that did not work at all, that particular grain. So off it came. Part of the process is putting paint on the canvas and then taking paint off the canvas. It's not going to go beginning to end without any hiccups along the way. So be prepared to just let it unfold. And part of the intuitive process means you're going to go down the wrong road sometimes. You can't be on point at all every minute. And you also have to keep in mind that I've had 28 years of experience. I know. I had to really double check my math before I came on here today because it does not seem like I've been at it for that many years. So it takes time to develop your intuition, your creative intuition. So don't rush it. Just let it come. And then know that that intuition is going to totally fail you on certain days. It's not going to be there all the time. It really is not. It will come and it will go. It will ebb and it will flow. And there's going to be some surprises too if you let that happen, because sometimes what you planned at the beginning of the day is not what's going to come out on the canvas at the end. People always ask me if I work from photographs, if I have an idea ahead of time, do I know what the painting's going to look like in the end? And it's a bit of all of those things because, yeah, I start with a photograph. This is a commission that I'm working, and it's of a view, a scene that's very important to my client. And so, yeah, it's going to be recognizable as that neighborhood, as that mountain, as those larch trees. That's what's important to this client. But at the same time, I'm letting it flow. I don't know exactly how it's going to look. It will come out. There will be some surprises, and you have to allow yourself to be surprised on occasion. You don't want to plan everything out. You want to be spontaneous. You want to let the paint flow. You want those moments of excitement to come out. And I want to tune into my client, and I want to do what's going to be right for her. Several years ago, I did a commission for a client, and it wound up being totally like no other painting I've ever done. The palette was very soft, it was very pastel, it was just complete, and it was a very large mountain painting and very dramatic mountain. And even my mom came in at the time and said, "What are you doing?" Like it seemed so random and so odd. And I'm like, "I just don't know." And she's like, "That's not your typical palette at all. You don't ever paint with those colors." And I just kept doing it. It kept coming, it kept coming. And then when I delivered the painting to my client, she said to me, "Oh, I'm so glad you used no reds and oranges and no bright colors because I don't like bright colors." Well, my client had not told me that. She just let me go in and do what I needed to do. And it was an amazing experience because somehow you can have I like to have a very close relationship with my clients, and that enables me to do things that I normally would not do. This was a whole completely different palette, but it was right for that woman. And so you've got to allow yourself to just be open to the unexpected. So don't forget that when you're painting your paintings. Have an idea, plan your composition, plan your lines, but just let different things come out. And don't pressure yourself. Just have fun. This is supposed to be fun, even though it's not so hard or not so easy at the beginning, I should say. But you will get there. Just keep at it. And I'm planning a art course online for the fall. Keep watch out for it because I'm going to be incorporating a lot of the things that I'm talking about in these 10-minute Monday art tips. I want to not do a typical art course where you learn nothing but theory. I want to be able to somehow incorporate this inspiration, this other world part, how you can tap into that part of your brain, the right side of your brain. It's going to all be in there, how to best bring out your creativity. So please do let me know what you think about what I'm saying today. I'm interested in your feedback and your comments, and I would like to know what is it that you are struggling with in your in your paintings, because I'm here to help you and I want to provide you with as much detail as I can. I'll be back again next Monday, so tune in again and ask me any questions. Give me your comments, questions, feedback. Let me know which ones of these art tips really are helping and which ones you want more of. Do you want more theory or do you want more creative insights? Let me know, and I'm here for you. Okay, have a great week, and I will see you back here next week. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Keep on coming back. All right, bye for now.